I think we can't be remiss that you are relaunching Video Soul.
Yes.
And one of the things I enjoyed when I saw you on Instagram talking about it is that this is stuff that you now own and stuff.
Right.
How did it come to mind to say, let me go and get the brand name and revisit it in this 2022, 21, 22 and beyond?
Yeah, well, it was about 3 or 4 years ago. No, about 4 years ago when, I started a production company, Donnie Simpson Productions, and we were just talking about what projects we might do. And, I thought about Video Soul for many, many, many years. And, but then as we talked about it, it became clear that that's what we should do. Bob Johnson encouraged it too. Bob Johnson was the owner of BET. And as a result of that, became the world's first Black billionaire.
Yeah.
And so had his blessings on it. So we checked, and they didn't own the name anymore. BET didn't, so I scooped it up.
Okay.
And, which I thought was great. I couldn't believe it was still out there and available for me, but I just felt like it was appropriate that if not BET, then certainly me, for Video Soul. But we decided to do this, and I just can't tell you how excited I am about it. It's gone very well. The most magical moment was when we went to Atlanta, Georgia to produce the shows.
Okay.
And for me, I felt like I've always been a smiler. As a matter of fact, that's what I would write on employment forms and stuff at work and go, like job description, smiler. I wouldn't write DJ or announcer, I write smiler. That's what I do, I smile. But I never owned that smile, and that's what I wanted now. I wanted to own my own thing. That I would get jealous when I would see plumbers pull up to my house and the truck would say Smith and Son since 1956. It's like, wow, he's got something he can pass on to his, So that's what this was about for me. Well, it was about that, and also creating opportunities for others. The lack of freedom that I talked about. I want to create some things where people that want to express themselves can. Or you will be working with a company that understands that. Man, do you, baby? That's that's me. And so, but when we went to Atlanta to do those shows, and I walked into that studio, and there's some 80 odd people there. I don't mean they were odd. I mean 80 plus people.
Yeah.
That are there that you have employed for these few days, and that they were totally vested in this project. That two things I found: that they knew it was mine, and they were proud of that.
Yeah. And
Video Soul means something to them.
Yeah.
They were so, I don't mean just the people that work there, but the audience members, everybody, man.
Yeah.
It was an incredible feeling, man, that I'll never ever forget. So that's what we're doing. It's right now it's available on Tubi, which is a free streaming service, but we're getting ready to take it broad to some other services, and there are other interests from networks that I can't speak on right now. But I'm very, very excited about that. I have a new podcast that just launched,
and I saw the one you did with KC. So that's what I was going to ask about the podcast as well.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that too. That has been going very well. It's not just audio, but we have a video component to it too, so you can watch us do that thing. And it's my producer and sidekick on my radio show said to me a couple of weeks ago, this was right at the end of the year, said, "What an interesting year for you. You have a new syndicated radio show, you brought Video Soul back, and you got a new podcast at 67 years old." I was like, well, you know what? I do work with AARP, here in America, and one of their initiatives is called Life Reimagined. And what it talks about is the fact that life expectancy years have grown so significantly over the last few years. People live so much longer that long gone are the days when at the age of 62, age of retirement, you need to start sitting, I got to quit my job and sit back and wait for death. No.
Yeah.
Vibrant stuff to do. You got lots of years to live.
Yeah.
And that's what this is about for me too, man. You know, doing stuff, staying active, man. I think that keeps you young. I love being in the mix still. I just, when I'm around my grandkids, it's always, so what are you listening to? Who do you like? I always want to know. Even at 9, 10 years old, I want to know, who do you like? What are you listening to?
Yeah.
I never, always was afraid of falling into that bag of, something that every generation says. They don't make music like they used to, and it, got the boogity boogity, and every single generation says that. And it's true. They don't make music like they used to. They never have, and they never will. It's always changing. It's always changing.
But
so
for somebody, go ahead.
Huh?
No,
so
I was gonna. Go ahead.
You can get stuck in that. If you want to just stay stuck in your thing, that's okay. That's fine. But when I hear people say, man, I don't listen to rap. I don't know. So you don't know Biggie's flow, Nas's no, or Jay-Z's dope?
Yeah. No, but listening to that though, because when we think about, there's a lot of people who would talk about, well, the 60s and Motown, that was the golden era. Then some would say, oh no, if you didn't know the 70s, then you missed out. But then when we look at how R&B music is today, and somebody who's been in music for such a long time, I think, Tank even tried to put a challenge, because we're struggling to get R&B in a way that we can appreciate. What are your thoughts, though, about the modern day R&B? Not hip hop. Hip hop, they've got their own balance, but especially R&B, the way it is today. Especially since you're as a DJ and live it.
Yeah. Well, the thing I hate about it is that I hate that there's a lack of outlets on radio for R&B music. It's like they just play old R&B music. But, I've heard songs from the Isley Brothers and Smokey Robinson recently, that are good songs that don't have a chance to get played, that don't get much play, so that bothers me. But at the same time, man, I love like the Silk Sonic album.
Yeah.
And what I look at that with great hope as to what that can do, because that's straight up classic R&B, man.
Yeah.
And it's so good. That's like the best album I've heard in 10 years, man.
Yeah.
I just love that album. And so to see these young brothers embracing this thing and taking it somewhere else, that maybe that will help usher in more opportunities for R&B artists, is what I'm hoping for. But you still, you got her, and there's still some people out there, man, that are really doing some great things in R&B. So it's I just miss the days. I remember, back in the 70s and 80s, when you would pick up the Billboard charts and look at the top 10 songs, and it would be the OJs and Lionel Richie right next to Ambrosia and George Michael. It was all mixed. I just always liked that. That's what it should be to me.
So just as we were wrapping up, who would you? You mentioned Silk Sonic and her, but if you were to think of other male and female R&B acts today that you would recommend to this international audience to look out for, who else would you, that you're playing on your station and you say, look out for these guys?
Oh wow! Well, you know what? The station that I'm on, we play mostly classic stuff.
Okay.
The station plays exclusively classic stuff. Me? I stretch out, man. I play, well, DJ Cool. You know DJ Cool?
Yes, yes. Let me clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat.
Yeah.
He's got a new song called Cha Cha Cha.
Okay.
You got to check that out. It's like a classic group dance kind of song, you know? Yeah, Cha 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 from DJ Cool. Just Anderson .Paak, of course. Kendrick Lamar. You know, people don't expect me to be into that stuff. It's so funny. I remember running into Nelly one day. God, Nelly would be old school now.
Yeah, yeah, 2000. Yeah.
But I was talking to Nelly, and I said, "Man, I love Nellyville." He's like, "Nellyville." I said, "Yeah, man, especially the line when you say, I can't remember exactly what the line is, but it's 40 acres and a mule, blank that stuff in Nellyville, 6-car garage, paved and smooth, 8 bedrooms and a jacuzzi." You know. He said, he looked at me like, "How do you know that? That's not even a single." I said, "Man, I listened to the album, man. I like music, you know."
Yeah,
so
yeah.
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 And I do. When I play golf, I always have my headphones on, and it's always on random. And I don't know what's gonna come. And I'm telling you, you would think I was crazy if you could see the playlist, because it may go from Elton John to Biggie to Anderson .Paak to Vladimir Horowitz to Blake Shelton to Wes Montgomery. It could be B.B. King, anything, anything, and it all makes sense to me. It's just music, you know. It's just music. God, the young girl that I love so much.
Is it Jasmine Sullivan? Is it her? Is it
I
Summer
love
Walker?
Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay. Scissors.
I can't believe I'm going blank. This young white girl, she's only 18 years old now.
Not Billie Eilish?
Huh?
Billie Eilish?
Yep, Billie Eilish.
Okay. Okay.
I love Billie Eilish, man. That one song just took me out the first time I heard it. I love you, but I don't want to. I mean, I even called Jimmy Jam about that. I said, "Jimmy, how can this young girl write a line like that? She's not, I mean, I love you, but I don't want to." Maybe I'm wrong, but that just seems beyond her years to me.
Yeah.
That's the concept that, how could she, you know? And, but I think she's someone that we'll see for a long time, man. I like Billie Eilish a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of all over the place.
and that's good to know. I do wonder though, if you had your top 5 guests that you've had on Video Soul, the old one, who'd be your top 5? Because I mean, we all have our favorites, but who'd make your top 5? And I'm sure all of their guests were great, but if you top 5 most memorable, yeah, okay, okay,
no, yeah, wow, I'd say James Brown,
okay,
Aretha, the Temptations.
Wow.
When I had the Temptations on, man, it just happened to be on my wife's birthday. I call her my boo, and it's legit because she's born on Halloween, so she truly is my boo. But that day, I said, "Man, and we did the show live, and I said, today is my wife's birthday, man. Would y'all do a song with me for her?" And it's like, "Yeah, let's go." So I get up off the couch, man, and we do My Baby. Whose hairstyles are out of this world, whether it's straight or bouffant or it's curled, my baby. So I'm just up front, I'm just pantomiming.
Yeah.
But I hear these voices come from behind me. It's like, they're serious. They ain't playing. These are the Temptations singing behind me. What a moment that was, man.
Wow.
So I'd have to put the Temps on that list. Smokey. God, this list is going to go beyond 5.
No, that's good. Keep going. No, that's right.
Smokey, love Smokey. God, one of my dearest friends, man. I just love that man. wow. Let's see. Frankie Beverly.
Yeah,
Frankie Beverly. As a matter of fact, the first time I came to your country was because of Frankie. Frankie was on my show. This was probably year 2 or 3 of Video Soul. And after the show, we were talking. And Frankie says, yeah, we're going to go to London in 3 weeks. I said, really? He says, yeah, man, we're huge over there. I said, really? He said, I mean, like the Beatles. You go, like, yeah. It must be drinking. And he says, I'm serious, man. You should come see. I said, okay, let's go. And that was our first trip to Europe. Me and my wife, Pam, went over to Europe and we were with Frankie for 10 days. Wow. He broke the Beatles record then at the Hammersmith Odeon.
Okay,
sold out 17 nights, I think it was.
Wow. Yeah, I lived near, I lived near Hammersmith. Yeah, I know, yeah.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. And it was so fascinating to me too, because this was the day we arrived. We went shopping, and twice in stores, people walked up to me, not knowing me or just going to see Maze tonight. Got my ticket. And they're pulling out their, it was, I mean, all the in every store, the radio stations were playing Maze music. Well, I could not believe it. And the most interesting thing about it, though, was that when I got to the show that night, to see the audience that was 85% white.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the reverse of that here in America, man.
Yeah.
It's more like 98% black in America. You know?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I had this conversation with Frankie one night, man. We were just kicking it. And I said, man, you know, I would never speak for you, Frankie, but I think I could speak for you on this. This is just something I think about. I said, our careers are alike in this way. We both have this audience, you know, like, you know, in America, I'm talking about in particular, black audience that knows you, love you, but there's this whole other audience, white America, really don't know you. I said, now, I think you would agree with me with this, but I would love to have the other part. But if I die with just this, I'm totally satisfied. He said, 1,000%, man. Because to know that your people feel that way about you, there's nothing that could beat that, man. Nothing. Ever.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.
You know.